So the latest of the fandom has been the recent launching of Louis Tomlinson's Discord server, and I think it's only been about around for a week, but it's got there's been some interesting mixed reviews. So it officially opened late July, and fans have like rushed in, but just in the zeitgeist and in the fan Facebook groups, there's some complaints, controversy, and like a growing concern um, that I've been seeing people say. So I haven't had enough time to look into it. I've decided I'm not going to get a Discord just because that there's just too much social media and platforms to keep on top of. So kind of thought I'd take a look at what's been happening. So let's unravel what's really going on. So let's see. Um, when it launched, there was like a recorded message from Louis that said, "Hey, hello, thanks for signing up." And it's being promoted as a fan space for music chat and exclusive content. And then there was some TikTok buzz that confirmed the invite link that was circulating among fans, like just last couple of days. And apparently, according to Tumblr, the server quickly ballooned, and there are some reports that say as many as 13,000 members, like in a short span of time, like joined. But then other Tumblrs have said that there's this moderation bottlenecks that emerge very quickly, and then there's been people posting uh, about like things that are happening on the Discord. Like there's been some buzz around like things with moderators, not enough, too few moderators to meet the demand, which that's also what was showing up on Tumblr. Yes, I still have a Tumblr. I just don't do anything with it. It's a really cool place to find like cool photos. And then there was comments on Reddit and Tumblr um, saying that like certain words like Larry were preemptively restricted on the server, and users that have 1D in their usernames have been banned. So that's coming from Reddit. There's another Reddit thread apparently that was talking about how Discord is an unsafe place for the fans in general, not just the Larrys, due to like I guess unmoderated comments. And then again on Tumblr, so I kind of did a quick ChatGPT assisted research. So if any of this is wrong, someone tell me. Where they said that there was sort of like an emerging narrative about like Larry's not being welcome, and that people that are in the Larryverse talking about how there might be a bias against Larry's not being welcome. I haven't gone to the Discord to really check it out myself. So far, I mean, and this is all like Tumblr stuff. So like, you know, take with it as you will. The fans are split on the accountability because the management company LTHQ, some fans feel that there's been a mismanaging of the platform. And then another narrative that quickly emerged was this thing that the server is really just a spotlight for solo Louis, but is de facto marginalizing Larry's. But others also argue that maybe Louis himself is not complicit. He's unaware or out of the loop with just how this thing got launched. And so there was, buzz on Tumblr saying that the only involvement of Louis was that the one message was the announcement and the rest is being run by this management company. And so there's some chatter. Some fans are upset about like it feels like the bond is being the bond between like especially the Larrys with Louis is being frayed, and then sort of predictions that this may not be a long-term successful project. So between July 29 to 30, the timeline is this. So the Discord launched with fanfare and Louis recorded greeting. It rapidly became a flashpoint of some conflicting reports, surfacing posts about censorships, unchecked hate, a disenfranchising of Larry's. Apparently, a lot of the people who joined, there's a lot of people who joined, but then not enough moderation, which is making it hard to kind of really keep up with the level of chatter. And then some fans thinking Louis is a victim of his own management, others thinking that the negativity and the unwelcome atmosphere that seems to be targeted to the Larrys have been unfolding under, his name, his server, his Discord server, and that kind of would like him to maybe be accountable for that. So there's been a very it's not been around that long, but there's been this kind of divided feelings about it. So right now, the fan commentary is sort of emerging that there's definitely very different thoughts, and there's sort of this, again, these parasocial relationships. It's kind of reflecting this issue around, fandom, like the sense of trust, the sense of like cohesion, the loyalty. Is it being appreciated, inclusion, responsibility, and because Louis' name is the center, there's this kind of like tension grid. So again, it's a new platform, so it could always course correct. It sounded like maybe they didn't anticipate like the amount of people who joined right away. Although I think that if they didn't anticipate it, I'm a little surprised because the Louis are a pretty formidable group of people, right? They're like Taylor Swift fans, but very active. Like they get into action to kind of like petition him to perform places. So yeah, definitely don't underestimate the Louis. Um, so if there's this rift that seems to be happening, again, like time is the true litmus test of everything. With how this will unfold, it sounds like a bit of growing pains, but fans are watching this carefully. Some people feel disillusioned. Larry's don't feel appreciated, which Larry's unfairly get a lot of flack, but that's kind of the recent thing. I'm doing a quick um, doing a quick kind of summary of what's been happening because I saw the announcement of the Discord and it looked pretty interesting. I know it's coming on the heels of Louis leaving Twitter because he said it was too toxic, and I keep saying that Twitter got rid of, at least I heard. I'm not really on Twitter. Just there's too much social media. That Twitter um, did not did disable the block function, which the block function exists for a reason. So, which means that the negativity is there's the lid's off the negativity. So, people were, this was a long-awaited space where the Louise could chat about everything from tour memories to new music, all in real time. I still think it can be this. It's just it seemed very quickly that there's been some dissatisfaction. But the buzz really did spread like wildfire. Because within hours you saw Instagram invites, you saw TikTok, Twitter, and Tumblr, and yeah, there were some early adopters. So I think the infrastructure of it may not have been prepared for just like the exponential rise of Louis jumping onto Discord. Discord is an interesting place. I don't really do much with Discord, but I think Discord is a bit of like a Wild West, in my opinion. But again, I'm not very familiar with Discord. I know that like institutions have used Discord. Like people like chat with their academic study group on Discord. Like it's used for a lot of different things. The crack in the launch seems to be not enough moderators, but then I'm also hearing, and I don't know which is true or which is not. It's hard to kind of tell because it's happening. It's happening so quick. Like the news is being released so quickly, and it's in different places, like Larry Silence and Fandom, Facebook groups, Tumblr. But this thing about automatic bans for people that are saying Larry or 1D in their username, which I'm surprised at either, because a fan is a fan is a fan is a fan, and the Larrys are. I mean, any market research not grads, any market research like senior college student could tell you that the Larrys are a pretty big deal in the fandom in terms of like their revenue stream from them, as well as just the activity from the Larrys who join the Louis and they get Louis put in, like they get Louis invited to festivals or they brought him to Lollapalooza, India. Like they are people of action just like him. So this, I think if they had maybe more moderators or if they had like a foundational moderation plan from the get-go that was solidified, maybe that would have helped. I don't know, but it just seems like it was too much, too soon, too fast. And then, screenshots are spread across Twitter and Tumblr, showing copies of warning messages, deleted posts, sudden bans, which for some people they feel like that's where this "I don't feel welcome" come in. So, yeah, I mean, Discord is an interesting place, and so far it looks like there's like the solo Louis, and there's a sharp divide between them, and then Larry's and other multi-fandom fans, and I'm on the side of the Larrys. The Larrys get blamed for so many things, but it's like it's not the Larrys. It's people that are on any aspect of the fandom of Louis. There are people that just go too far, and unfortunately, the cyberspace platforms, there's not enough people to there's not enough safeguards, I think, to rein in when people say things. So people are pointing the finger at LTHQ, telling them they're mismanaging. So I don't know. There's just so much, and I think this is a story in action.